Let's make a bow. Today I'm going to be designing a bow based on my daughter Carly's favorite ribbons that I have here in the store. So we are going to call this the Carly bow. We are starting with a 4-inch pink double-sided ribbon. It's flocked on one side and a gold satin on the other. We're using a white 3-inch Dupont ribbon, a 1.5-inch floral patterned ribbon, a 1.5-inch pink chinoiserie ribbon, and then a 1-inch satin double-sided double-stitch ribbon. So I'm going to start with my largest ribbon, which is my 4-inch pink. I'm going to just leave a little bit of a tail, and I'm going to make my loop, my first loop. This is going to set the size of my bow. So I'm starting with a loop. I'm going to twist and bring it back around. And I'm just always gathering into my left hand. So I'm going to keep my hands like this. Sometimes I may grab with the whole hand, but I'm mainly using these fingers right here. And I'm always keeping it held in that hand. Then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to give it a cut. I like dovetails. You can cut it straight, you can cut it angled, however you'd like to do it. There's my base. I'm going to give it one more big loop. This time I'm just going to use one loop. I'm going to gather it here in the middle. And then just create my tail. I kind of like a long tail. I'm not doing any measuring here. I can go back later. Sometimes I'll go back at the end and make sure I like how my tails are. I can adjust the lengths or how I have them cut. All right, so we've got the base of the bow that's setting the size. This is going to set the overall head size of our bow. Okay, I'm moving down to the next size, which is my 3-inch Dupont. Actually, I have a little bit already cut off here, so I'm going to see if this is enough, if I can make this work. Since my last one went to this side, I'm going to put this one coming the other way. So you'll kind of alternate how you're holding it in your hand so it doesn't all pile up on one side, so this evens it out. So I'm just going to open my thumb and my finger. I'm going to slide it in this way, grab a hold, kind of fluff it out. See if I like that. I think I do. Okay, and I'm going to use just a little bit more of that to make one loop coming on the other side. This time I'm angling it down at the bottom and coming up. This time I'm cutting straight across just because sometimes with this style of ribbon, it will fray. So I'm just going to give it a nice clean cut for now. So I'm going to the side, the opposite side where I went last time. So I'm going up here. I'm going to give it a twist. And I'm pulling around. I'm making it slightly smaller than my last loop, my white loops. People do this all different ways. Some people now like them all the same length. Traditionally, it was you would get smaller till it comes in. There's no right or wrong. It's whatever style you want. So I don't like mine drastically to get smaller to the center, but I do like to make sure we're seeing each layer of the bow. So I'm going to pull back around on this side. Take my scissors, give it a cut. This time I did it at an angle. Now what I did to this side, I'm just going to go back and I am turning my hands a different way. I'm going to turn the ribbon different. I'm going to hold it different. So instead of holding it going that way, I'm going to lift my thumb. I'm going to face it coming this way. I'm going to pull down. I'm twisting. I'm going to create my loop. Even once it's in my thumb, I kind of keep a loose enough hold that I can adjust how big or small this loop is to make sure it's pretty even with the other. Pull it up, do the same thing on the other side, back down. I've got it right here. This time I want that hanging just a little bit longer. So here's where we are so far. Now I'm going to move to Carly's favorite ribbon, which is this 1.5 inch floral pattern. And you can see this has a design on it, a pattern where it's got that little bouquet and it is pointing a certain way. These are the hardest ribbons. It's okay if they end up upside down. I'm really picky about it. I don't like it to be like that. So you kind of have to figure out which way you're going to turn your ribbon to make sure that it's going, that it's coming down. So this time I'm going to do it a little bit different. I went this way last time, so I'm going this way this time. So I'm going to go ahead and loop it and then put it in this hand. This is just so that I can make sure that this is going the way the direction I want it to go. I'm going to adjust it because I always keep a loose grasp right now so it can be just almost the exact same size. I just went barely smaller. I just want to be able to see that chinoiserie behind it. But when I'm done, I'm going to spread these out. So I don't want it much smaller. I want it pretty, it is almost the exact same. So I'm going to give a twist. Actually, this time, this is already coming down the way I want it to. It came down underneath because of the way I grabbed it. So instead of twisting, I'm just going to pull it back up. And now I've got it facing the way I want it the whole time. All right, which way I want it to face coming the other way. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm going to go ahead and make a loop. So I've got my loop. And I want it, see, one side shows it going down, the other side shows it facing the way you would want it. So I'm going to take this loop. I'm going right here to my thumbs. Last time I went this way. This time I want to go this way. I'm going to open up. Let me move this out of the way so you can see. I'm going to open up my fingers. I'm going to just slip this in here. Grab it back down. Now that I've got it, I can pull and I can adjust. Okay, so now I'm going to come down. I'm going to pull this side. I'm going to bring it back up and grab. Now that I have it, I'm just going to pull on it, pull my tails, pull my ends to make sure that it is the same length I want it to be. Here and give it its cut. All right, here's where we are so far. We are almost done. So I have some white in the back and there's some white within these. I want to add just a little more white to the front. So here's where I'm going with this 7/8 of an inch, the double-sided. I really like the double-sided, double-stitch satin ribbon because I can form it to shape it however I want. Whatever shape I put it in, it is going to stay. So this time, I'm just going to go, I'm not going to give a lot of this ribbon, so I'm going to go out to the side like that with it. I want it to be about as long as these loops. And I'm just going to take that, I'm going to come to this side and I'm going to loop it a little bit less than those. Come back, loop it on the other side. And then bring this tail about the same size as this loop, which is what I did on the other side. Okay, now I've created just like a simple bow in the middle, and I can pull these tails down, or I can leave them out to the side, or I can curl them up, whichever way I want to do with them. Okay, so here's where we are. Spreading it out, making sure I'm going to like the look before I zip tie it in there. Once it's zip tied, you can really pull on these a little bit harder. but I just want an overall idea. I'm also going to go back and check my tails at the end, but for now, we just want to make sure we've got it the way we want it, and I think I do. I want to add this wire so that it can be attached to a wreath or for her door or whatever she wants it on. I'm going to hold that here. I'm going to take my zip tie. I'm coming back to the front. I'm slipping this in my hand here. Just like I was my ribbon. I'm going to pull it around, make sure I have my bow. I'm going to make sure that this wire is getting caught in the zip tie. I want the zip tie to catch that wire in there so I can attach it. Now I'm just going to slide my end through. I'm going to pull, and I'm just going to, as the zip tie moves, I'm just going to keep it positioned at the back because I don't want that big, the clasp of the zip tie to end up in the front of my bow. So I'm just pulling. I'm going to pull as absolutely tight as I can get it. Now I'm ready to fluff her exactly how I want her. Maybe I'll do that like that. Here she is. Here's Carly. I hope she likes her. Let me know how you like her. She's available on my Shopify site. She's available in the TikTok shop, and she's available in my storefront here in Bluff City. So either make you a Carly bow or come get one.